There are only 4 types of insurances you need to protect your service-based business. So in this video, I'm going to break down the different types of insurances you need to fully protect your service-based business. So by the end of this video, you're going to learn how to protect you, your business, and your employees. So let's get straight into it. I want you to download my one-page cheat sheet, The Insurance Strategist. It's going to keep you on track and in line to letting you know what types of insurances you need and the stages you need to get them. Now, this is step 3 inside of the Fire Alarm Business Blueprint. This is the Insurance Strategist. This is where we're going to set you up and prepare you to get the right type of insurance so you can be fully protected when you're out there installing fire alarm and security systems. And if you don't know by now, my name is Anthony Richardson. I started out over 25 years ago with a company called FireQuench. Since then, I've worked with a bunch of different companies and got certified on systems like Simplex, Edwards, Kitty, Software House, and S2. I knew in order for me to get money in this business, I had to separate myself from everyone else. So in 2017, I started Secured Securities. That summer of 2017 is when everything started to turn around. I started losing money. My 401k got exhausted. Me, my wife, my kids, we almost got evicted out the crib. So I didn't know what to do. I went to YouTube University to try to find out where was I going wrong within my business. And I found that it was only 3 things that was actually holding me back. And the first one is I was thinking that since I was a good technician, that I could bring my technical experience over to my business experience and make money. Not until I read the book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber's, where I had to shift my perspective and actually started working on the business rather than working in the business. And the second one is, which was the hardest thing for me to do, was create a whole entire marketing strategy and actually implement it each and every month consistently. That was the hardest thing for me to do. And the third thing was to actually learn my product so that way I can better serve it, position it in front of my audience, so that way I can speak my clear message to them and let them know I have the product that's going to solve the problem that you're actually having. So as I'm continuing to still learning and I'm out there still hustling, still getting leads from like Home Advisor, Angie's List, and also Thumbtack just to pay the bills on a monthly, I came across New York City, and there was like an ad that I came across, and they was giving free workshops for businesses. So I sign up, I register, I go in and take this class, and there I found out about minority certification. So being that I was only a few months in the business, I couldn't actually apply because you needed to have your taxes. After that first year, I immediately applied for my certification. Now we fast forward all the way up until now, I got over 20 electrical contractors and general contractors where we send work to each other each and every day. So any fire alarm work come up, I'm the guy that they're going to call. So inside of the Fire Alarm Business Blueprint, you're going to have access to all of these resources to help you out in your venture when you're starting off your fire alarm company. So here's some of the insurances that you're going to be needing. The first one is general liability insurance. This is going to protect business. You want your business to be protected if anyone actually tries to come and sue you. The second one is you're going to need workers' comp. You're going to have technicians going out there in the field installing devices inside of other people's homes or either in businesses or even on construction site where things could get a little dangerous. So workers' comp insurance definitely covers the employees from injuries. The third one is you want to have auto to non-hired insurance. Some clients may ask for auto to non-hired insurance. In short, this is your business auto insurance. This is going to cover all the vehicles or any vehicles that's actually working for you during business hours. So if you hire a subcontractor or if you have someone doing runs in between stops or delivering equipment, your auto to non-hired will cover that policy if they get into an accident. And the last one is umbrella or excess. This is gonna actually cover over your general liability. So whatever your general liability doesn't cover, you want to have umbrella insurance, and the minimum to have is $1 million. So each $1 million is roughly $1,000 you will have to pay. So minimum $2 million on the general and $1 million workers' comp, auto to non-hired, and also $1 million on the excess. You can go up to 5 or 10, whichever one you want. Just know you're going to pay $1,000 each million you can go up. So I want to remind you to make sure you download the student workbook so you know the exact steps you need to take in order for you to make sure you get the right type of insurance, especially for your fire alarm service-based company, because you can't just go around and just get any type of insurance. We have the resources to make sure you build your portfolio correctly. So why do most entrepreneurs fail to protect themselves in the service-based industry? Number one, they may think it's too expensive to actually get insurance or full coverage to be fully protected as a service-based business. It's really not. It goes off based of certain calculations, and it comes down to a point to where you could actually afford it on each and every month basis. And the second one is there's a lack of awareness of what type of insurance you need actually for your business. How much insurance do you need? You need different type of insurances for different levels of work that you're going to be doing. If you're in a high-rise building with 10 floors or above, you're going to need more insurance rather than a building that has 3 floors or below. And lastly, people get information from people who actually don't know. A lot of people freestyle the information out there. There's insurance for service-based businesses. There's insurance for medical businesses. There's insurance for retail business. There's all different types of structured insurances for different type of business structure. So with our resources, we make sure that you're set up the right way when you're forming your fire alarm business. So how do you make sure that you're covered fully? Here's 3 steps you can take when you actually selecting the right type of insurance for your business. So the first thing you want to do is assess your risk. As a fire alarm company, you're going to have field workers, and you're going to have workers that work inside the office. Those field workers are going to have tools. They're going to be working with power tools, and they're also going to be having moving vehicles. So the risk is a little bit high when you're dealing with multiple people that have multiple variables in their life. That danger could actually be a potential hazard towards them. And the second one is you want to work with a broker that is experienced within your field. You don't want to go to a broker that's giving out medical insurance for a fire alarm company. And the third one, each and every year you want to reevaluate your policy. You want to make sure that you're actually covered through your emissions. You want to make sure you're paying the right amount of money for the coverage that you have. You want to make sure there are no objections that's going to come back at you and hurt you at the end. So here's a sample type additional insured. So when you get a fire alarm contract or you're doing any type of construction work, the GC, the owner, someone's going to ask to be named as the additional insured on your insurance. You then have to either go back to your broker or go on a website and fill out some information. What that's saying is that you are insured for this project, and if let's say you don't pay your premium and you lose insurance, they will be notified that you're not insured no more, and you will be taking up the project. You won't make no money on that project. But essentially it's going to outline all of the benefits within your policy, rather if you have the general policy, the workers' comp policy, the auto policy, and also the excess policy. Is going to outline each and every one of those and also give you the values of how much each one of these policies are. So I don't want you to ever feel overwhelmed or confused about how to get insurance, how much it's going to cost, and do I actually really need insurance? All 3 of those questions are very simple to answer. Yes, you need insurance. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It's based on what your estimated payroll is. So if you're one person in a business and you estimate your payroll to be $25,000 to $50,000 a month, you're going to be spending less than $200 a month to have all of these policies. So it's not a lot of money for you to maintain these policies. However, it can be expensive as you get more employees, as you increase your payroll. But for the most part in the beginning, it's very affordable for you to actually make money in this fire alarm industry. Here's a sample umbrella insurance. This will be attached to that additional insured. It will outline all of your policies that you have under that insurance broker. So they usually will be under one umbrella, or you will have different umbrellas that will give you different policies. And I mean umbrellas, I mean different insurance companies. Here's the workers' comp additional insured. They're going to be asking for this paperwork, and they want to verify that you are actually fully licensed and also protected and insured. So they're going to ask and request for this paperwork. You hit your broker up and tell them, hey, I need an AI for ABC company. Here's the address. This is what the project is for. This is the project address, and you get this information back. There's a QR code on there so they can scan it to see if that paperwork is actually validated. So you get your workers' comp through the New York State Insurance Fund. You could also have your broker include this within your policy, or if you run in payroll, you can have them also include that in your weekly payroll. So one key thing you need to understand is protecting your vehicle, especially if you have workers, field workers driving vehicles. If they're driving their own personal vehicles or if they're driving company vehicles, whichever the case may be, you want to make sure you have auto non-hired insurance. So if you hired an electrician that's working on a project for you, that electrician's vehicle is covered under your policy as long as they're on that project. So if they're working from 7 to 3, they are covered within the 7 to 3 time frame. Once they go home, that's on their insurance policy. But as long as they're working on a project for you, heading to work, not leaving, but heading to work and working on that project for you, your policy will cover them. If ever any one of your field workers get into an accident, it's fairly simple what they would have to do. Just make sure they report the incident to the police, get the authorities there so that way they can get the incident report. You then take that incident report and submit it to your insurance for the claims. You don't have to submit any money or any deductible or anything like that. What you need to do is make sure you submit that claim in a timely fashion so that way the insurance company can back you. Then we have umbrella insurance. Umbrella is exactly what it means. It's going to cover whatever the other insurances don't cover. Is going to cover the excess of everything else. So if you got $1 million auto policy and you have $2 million worth of damage, then the umbrella excess will cover that extra $1 million. So make sure you have all of these different types of insurance policies, because there's a lot of games out there, and plus things happen. So accidents happen. You want to make sure you're fully prepared at all times. If any of your employees get hurt at work, workers' comp is the insurance to have. You can have workers' comp be deducted if you have a payroll service like Paychecks or ADP or anything like that. You could have it come out on a weekly basis, so that way it's easier than you trying to calculate what you need to be paying at the end of each quarter. So workers' comp is definitely important for you to have. But if you don't have any employees, you could write a letter of waiver, so that way you say, hey, I don't have any employees, we don't do any work. Here goes my letter of waiver, so that way they could waive that clause of you having workers' comp. So there's ways around it, but you still need to make sure you have workers' comp, because if you're the one doing the work, you're the employee in the business, and you get hurt, you want to make sure that at least you're protected as well. So workers' comp is still very important. So I want you to download the Insurance Strategist Homework. I want you to stay on track so you know exactly the steps that you need to take in order to make sure that your fire alarm company that you're actually building is properly protected. You don't want no lawsuits, or you don't want anybody coming after you to shut your business down because you're not properly protected, all right? So let's step back a little bit, and I want you to see that this is the third step inside of the Fire Alarm Business Blueprint. The Fire Alarm Business Blueprint has 9 steps to take you from not knowing how to do anything about fire alarm to actually becoming a fire alarm expert and running a profitable fire alarm business. So the Fire Alarm Business Blueprint is there to give you the confidence you need to actually run your own fire alarm company. So I want to congratulate you for staying all the way to the end of this module. Don't forget to download the cheat sheet, so that way once you start getting your insurance, you know exactly what you need to do. Step 1, step 2, and step 3. All right. I'm Anthony Richardson. I'm the fire alarm expert. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.